Hi guys, so it's currently 3:38 in the morning, so don't mind my scrubs or my backdrop because I'm on my break at work. But so there are three different theorists that I chose to focus on for this reflection assignment. That's Du Bois, Simmel, and Mead. So for the first one, I'm going to focus on Du Bois. And as we all should know, he gave us the ideas of double consciousness, the veil, and the color line. I wanted to focus on something from his Philadelphia study, where he outlines that Black individuals play their own role in experiencing things like poverty, alcoholism, and crime in their communities. With the coronavirus, there's been an increase, obviously, in unemployment due to non-essential businesses closing. So I would believe that they would be experiencing more poverty. Not that necessarily means that they're playing their own role in that, but due to the virus, they're going to be experiencing more poverty. I know I've seen a lot of people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, who are just sitting at home, drinking all day, because there's not really much else for them to do. So I would argue that would increase things like alcoholism, and, alcohol dependency. And then also lack of supplies and money, I think, would lead to things like more theft and crime. I know even in my community, since I live in Berea, I have like the little Neighbors app, which is through Ring, like the little doorbell camera system. And there's been like a bunch of car break-ins and stuff, people stealing like cards and money out of people's wallets in their cars. So due to unemployment, obviously people are not having as much money as they would before, so they can't go out and buy supplies. Obviously people decided they wanted to stock up on toilet paper for whatever reason, so maybe they're stealing toilet paper, who knows? But that's it for Du Bois. With George Simmel, I focused on his image of society, where he says, like, the essence of society lies in the interactions that take place between individuals and groups. Well, with the concept of, like, social distancing, society is being forced to interact in different ways. Obviously, we can't really do face-to-face interactions. I do because I work in a nursing home, assisted living, independent living, so I'm a lot closer than 6 feet to these people, to say the least. But other people that don't have that ability to go to work like I do, who aren't an essential worker per se, they're being forced to find different ways to interact, whether that's through like social media, like FaceTiming, Zoom, all these new communication apps and stuff that we have today. So mainly we're finding ways to interact through like phones and computers and the internet and things like that. And then also with Simmel, I wanted to focus on his work called the sociability, where he says sometimes we interact for the sake of connection itself. I think now, during this time, that's pretty big. We're not necessarily, like, reaching out to others for, like, a specific purpose now. We may just be reaching out to others just because, we're bored and we want someone to talk to. We want that connection. And then the last person that I wanted to focus on is Mead and his idea of self-control. So Mead says that self-control is a form of social control. And for this, I kind of created like some examples. So basically that would be like pros and cons of wearing a mask, like one of these in public, or practicing like social distancing or whatever. We look to those around us usually to base what our behavior should be. So like if you go into Walmart and no one's wearing a mask, you're probably going to feel like an outsider if you're wearing a mask. You feel like people are looking at you like you're weird, why are you wearing a mask? But now, like, when you go into Walmart and everybody's wearing masks and you're the only one not wearing a mask, you're going to be like, oh, well, I should probably be wearing one, you know? So it's kind of based on, like, those social cues, we figure out how to control ourselves. And because we want that image, like, projected to those around us, I guess. So with that being said, he also says that individuals and societies are mutually dependent. So without each other, we can't progress. So if there's people going out, not practicing social distancing, not wearing their masks, like when they're around other people, obviously I don't have mine fully on right now because I'm not in a room or anything. And trust me, wearing one of these all the time, you can't breathe out of them. But like without an individual and society together, there's no way to progress, as I was saying. So if no one's practicing social distancing or whatever, we aren't going to progress. We aren't going to like flatten the coronavirus curve. We're just going to keep getting worse. It's going to be worse than the Spanish flu is what they're saying. Nothing's going to get better. And, yep. So that's pretty much all I had prepared on those three theorists and how they connect to the coronavirus.